Okay, so I think it's very important to just be open-minded in general because they say you're one person away from your next biggest opportunity, and I truly believe that. And being at one of the 10X conferences with Grant Cardone, with Brandon Dawson, great people to help learn how to scale a business. And as I'm just there, you start meeting some of the people. They're like-minded because they're also growth-minded in business, and they're trying to make it to the next level. And so I meet this awesome lady. Her name's Ryan, and Ryan Donatelli invites me to Vegas to speak at the Clubhouse Live. So we speak at her event. It goes very well. It's an intimate event to where all the speakers get to know each other very well. And so one of the speakers said, "Hey, I'm having a mastermind next week in Mexico. You should come." I'm like, "Oh, wow, okay." And so, like, it's like you're following breadcrumbs. It's like, okay, I came to this Brandon Dawson and Grant Cardone event. That led to Vegas, where I'm speaking with Ryan. Then that led to Mexico, where I got to speak with Jeff the entrepreneur. And so, I mean, got to hang with him. And then from there, it just kept going. Like, I think how it went, I was probably end up on the road maybe 6 weeks straight, event to event. And not just like, okay, what's the next thing to jump to? It's like
Yeah.
quality people, quality opportunity saying, hey, like, I have an opportunity I think would interest you, and boom. And just having the flexibility in your schedule or being willing to move things around to say, hey, let me see what's out here for me.
Yeah. I mean, that's the good thing about you, man. Like, you're always out there, like, willing to meet people and rub elbows and stuff. And I think you really can capitalize on a lot of those relationships that you made. And I'm not exactly sure how, but like even with doing these type of podcasts and stuff like that, a lot of them are influencers, and could eventually invite you out to paid speaking engagements,
Mm-hmm.
uh, which is a lot better than free speaking engagements where all the expenses are on you to fly here and there. Because I'll be the first one to say, you know, uh, I always go to the first rule of business. The first rule of business is to be profitable,
That's true.
and the whole intent, unless you're starting a nonprofit, is to make money.
Oh, yeah.
And so I think one thing that has maybe delayed me from having a big multi mega million or $1 billion company is that it was like street smarts. Like, if it don't make dollars, it don't make sense. And like
Right.
anything that I'm putting my time into, is it going to make me money?
I agree.
And not it doesn't necessarily have to have an immediate payout. Like, I'm not that short sighted. Like, oh,
Oh, of
I
course.
got I did this movement, I got to get paid. And like, no, but like I have to see the money at the end of it.
Oh, yeah.
And so, a lot of the stuff that you've done, yes, there is an intent for money, but every direct thing is not associated to a end point.
Right. Not
And
exactly. But I do tell
yeah,
you one thing, every single event without fail, if I'm speaking there, I always speak for free because somebody's going to come up to me and want to do business afterwards. I've spoken to groups where there were 8 people and I got 2 clients, or I've spoken to groups where there were even, you know, if I speak to a group with 100 people, I'm going to get a lot of clients, and I'm very selective with who I work with, just because it's like we talked about earlier, like if a person has nothing put together at all, then oftentimes their expectations are going to be misaligned when we try to really work together. Because what we're going to determine is like, well, hey, you're not even far enough along to use the services yet. And most people
yeah,
want to have to pay much more to get the result, because I just get it. Like, most people don't want to have to pay. they want to pay as cheap as possible. So not every,
Yeah, yeah,
a quality person understands what they're looking for, and I'm looking for those type of people, the people who recognize, hey, I need to pay in order to get a good result, and you get what you pay for, type of thing.
yeah. True, true. And I guess a lot of conferences that I've been to, they occasionally have uh, like a station where vendors are set up on the outside of the conference, and they set up times for those vendors to come in and speak. And they generally speak about any product or service that they're providing. So I understand if you're speaking in any manner in that regard, like if you're speaking directly on services that you can provide, then 100%, I agree that should be free. But
Oh yeah,
if you're giving content that someone can take and implement, no.
yeah. Well, I still say do it, because the reason why, they say, you know, if you want to let people know that you can help them, help them. And if you're providing your best content for free, or something of high quality, high value for free, they're like, man, if I pay this person, what else can they do? I mean, it must be phenomenal if this free stuff is this effective.
Yeah.
And matter of
Yeah.
fact, I learned a tactic from Grant Cardone, one of his stages program, that said they show you how to negotiate with the meeting planner. So they say, hey, look, they say, hey, just say you get an invite, and they say, hey, we'd like you to come speak. It's like, well, hey, great, we'd be happy to come speak. You want to have a sizzle reel, a reel of other things you've done, that you send them as well. And then you said, well, hey, look, Charles does normally have a speaker's fee of $15,000. And what we can do, though, is we can provide something for you if you're willing to allow us to set up a booth in the back, where he has his books and his courses and everything like that. Then he can waive that speaking fee, as long as he's allowed to, sell his
Yeah.
products from the stage.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then you usually make well over the 15K. And also, they see your value. They're like, hey, this is not a free type of guy, but we're getting a deal by just allowing them to pitch to our audience as well as help them.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Makes
It
sense.
becomes a win-win.
Yeah. Definitely in your industry, that's a given, because everyone can technically be your client, even
Right,
though you may not take them on as a client. Everyone needs you.
right, right.